About a week and a half ago, I made this meme poking fun at how not professional the armies in Fire Emblem traditionally are. Now, someone, a Komen J. Rexar, was like, credit me for the idea of making a series based on how much of an actual army they are. And I gave him the Otis Perhaps cow. And when you give someone the Perhaps cow, you can't just leave them be. So, Komen J. Rexar, thank you for this idea. You no longer have to put that crying face on a Steven Universe character. You can put a smile. Now, my criteria is fairly simple here. You get a full point if you have actively served in something, be it the Knights or Mercenaries, and you have combat experience, and you've had training. Half a point is if you've been trained or you've fought before, but not both. So, like, a few people that are just pulled off the street after being, like, pirates or something for a while, or the Magi that went to school but didn't actually fight anyone. That's a half a point. 0 points is if you're literally a bum pulled off the street. So, we're going to judge Marth's army here. It's the first one. I'm doing Shadow Dragon and not New Mystery because I'm going to split those games up. New Mystery is going to be an interesting one to do. So, also, my knowledge on Arcanea is not as good as everyone. So, I do have the wiki. Go away, PUBG. Get out of here. I have the wiki list of characters right here for me to click on in case I need knowledge on what the hell their backstories are. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. So, with all of that groundwork out of the way, let's just get right to it, starting with Marth. I believe he's been trained in combat, like in swordplay, by Jagan and the rest of the Knights. And while he does fight some people in the Shadow Dragon prologue, it's not really proper. I guess it's combat experience, but it's not enough, I would say, to qualify him as a trained soldier. He's still very green. So I'm going to give him half a point. Just, I do understand if you should say I should give him a full point, because he has fought in battles. Shame he's absolute garbage in Shadow Dragon, though. I mean, by God, save him on Hard 5. All of the Knights of Altea get a point. Every single one of them have been knights with proper training and combat experience. So I do think that they all deserve it. They've all fought. They're all well trained. A lot of them are really good units. 4 of them. Draug is okay. He has way too much speed for an armor knight. Literally, it reclass him into horseman and he's lightning speed. So, Kaida. I'm going to get to her in a moment. Reese is 0 points. His first words are, "I'm just a humble curate." He is literally a personified image of that doctor meme going, "I'm a healer, but," and cocks the gun. Reese is cocking that gun. He has no combat experience. He just waves around a nice-looking stick. Now, Kaida, is she ever listed to have Pegasus training? Because I think she might also be 0 points. This is why we have the wiki. So, Kaida. Blah, blah, blah. Sheeta, anime, blah, blah, blah. Background. She was 10 years old, found Agma. I remember that one. I remember Samuel. She purchased Agma. Good job. Flies. No, it looks like she just flies out. It doesn't look like she's ever actually fought. So, I think that's 0 points for me. However, she did buy Agma, and Agma and his goons all get a point. I don't know how long they've been in mercenary service, but they were mercenaries for at least some period of time before the events of Shadow Dragon. So I think Agma, Barst, and you fucking tell them apart, they all get a point. They've all fought in mercenary work. One could say they might not actually. I don't know if they've had proper training. I think they're just self-taught. The Axemen, at least, because they're all woodcutters. Agma's fought in the pit. He's probably gathered some actual knowledge of swordplay. But thinking back on it, I think the 3 dudes are just woodcutters. I don't think they've ever actually been trained how to fight. So I'm going to give them a half a point. Again, I could see you giving them a full point. I almost did. But, yeah. Castor. I don't know what to give him, because I know in BSFE, he broke into a palace. He's a money swindler. He's very good at swindling people's money. And I know he joins the Arcanea Rangers, but I think that's a new mystery. So I think he's relatively just a bum pulled off the street. He sided with pirates just to get money. And it's not stated how long he's been there. So Castor gets a 0. I could be wrong on that, though. Daros is one of my favorite backstories in Arcanea. He was just a fisherman. And when pirates stormed his boat, he picked up an axe to fight, but no one attacked him because they thought he was a pirate with them, which is hysterical to me. Literally, they just like, that's a big buff dude with an axe. He's got to be on our side. So, yeah. He fought with pirates for a few years in canon, I believe. So he gets half a point, but he has not had training in combat. He is literally just a Sail. He became Sail. Julian is a weird one. I do not doubt that he has had no combat training. But is he supposed to? Julian's not supposed to fight. He's just a thief. So do we count his training in thievery as combat training? I don't know, and I'm really hesitant to put Julian's placement. I'm going to give him half a point, but I kind of really want to give him a full point because, yeah, he's probably trained in the ways of thieving, but how? Well, not how, but does that count? Because not everyone's role on the battlefield is to fight. So, Lena's much easier. No points. She's a healer. She's been trained to heal, not to fight. Get her out of there. Navarre, much like Agma, is a mercenary who has had prior experience, and I think it's safe to assume he's trained in the ways of the swords. He's had proper experience. Navarre gets a point. Also, he's a long red coat, and that's cool. Merrick gets half a point. He's been trained in how to use magic, but I do not believe, now I could be wrong here, I do not believe Merrick has ever been stated to actually have fought someone before he meets up with Marth. So, he qualifies for half a point, and you know what? I'll put them next to each other. Do not separate them. Merrick's a good kid. He had a nice pointy hat before they got rid of that. I like him, but he only got half a point. I hate myself because I don't want to give this man any credit for anything, but he is more trained than other people in Marth's army, which is annoying that I'm giving Mathis any limelight, but he is a knight, so that speaks something for his professionalism. He can't tell who the hell his sister is when he's killing her, but, you know. So, he's a meme. The dunk on Mathis jar is overflowing with chump change, but he gets a point on this one. Revel in your victory, Mathis. This will never happen again. Hardin and the Wolfguard all get a point. They have all fought together. They are all knights, and Hardin's a prince. They've all fought. I think it's safe to say they all get a point for being professional knights with expertise in combat. I don't think I really need to explain anything here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Wendell. He's a magi. Let me check Wikipedia here. Because has Wendell actually fought in anything, or is he just a sage? I know he's a teacher. Yeah, no, he's just a teacher. Yeah, no, he's just a teacher. Okay. The whole point of those tabs was to never mention them because they were just funny little side jokes, and I fucking clicked on one. I am really bad at this. So yeah, same thing as Merrick. He's smart. He knows how to use combat magic. Never actually fought. So, Rickard, do not separate them. You know, funnily enough, it's directly stated he's trained under Julian, I think, though that might be after the first game. He's a thief. He's had experience thieving, but not fighting. I think that's worth half a point, but I could see how you'd put Rickard as just a bum off the street. Athena. Is she a mercenary like Agma and Navarre, or is she literally just... I think she is. I remember... Here we go. This is the entire reason we have Wikipedia, because it is definitely trustworthy knowledge. How long have you fought? Profile. Saved drowning villagers. Do we have anything on her backstory? No. Okay, wonderful. I have no idea how long she's been fighting. I'm going to give her half a point to be safe. I don't know enough about Athena's backstory to know. It's clear that she's been sword fighting for a while, but whether or not that's just been training or actual mercenary work, I don't know. Bantu. Do dragons have combat training? I don't know, because he knows how to use a firestone. He knows how to breathe fire. He knows how to do that. And I want you to look me in the eyes and say that Bantu doesn't have experience in everything. I'm going to give him a point, but I could see maybe not a full point, but I think it's safe to say he knows what he's doing. Caesar and Rad are both mercenaries. I'm going to give them a point. Experience, training, I think they're fine. Roger, another memed-on character, but he is a knight. He has been fighting for Grust. I don't remember what the name is. So, again, he gets a point, but at what cost? We are giving the two pink-haired fuckboys attention. George. Yeah, he gets a point. He's a prince who's been trained in archery. He's fought battles. I think it's safe to say George gets a full point without much contention or anything. He is a pretty blonde boy, and he is good enough for us. Wow, another healer that doesn't get a point. So, Maria, again, she's a child. She's had no combat experience. She's a healer. Minerva gets a point. I think that's obvious. Literally, she is a promoted Pegasus Knight. Like, I don't think you can really argue that she's had training and experience. So, 1 point for her. When IS gave us young Minerva and didn't make her a Pegasus Knight, that made a lot of people angry, myself included. Linde. Again, half a point. She can read a book, but I don't think she's had actual combat experience ever. So, do not separate them. Do not, we're going to do some revamping here to make sure that no one gets separated. All right, perfect. Yeah. So, Jake, I actually don't know. So, we're going to read right quick. He is recruited. Okay, hang on. Jake is one of the newest characters to recruit in Shadow Dragon. Blah, blah, blah. Profile. He was just a ballistician. Fuck. He isn't cut out for the military. Fuck. Alright, you know what? We'll put him on half a point to be safe. I don't know enough about you, Jake. I just know that I miss you and I wish you could come back, but Intelligent Systems wants to make Anna available. The imprisoned knights all get a point. They're all knights with combat training. Boa, I'm a little hesitant here, but because he's not a knight, he's just an advisor. So I'm going to put him at half a point. He's probably had training, but I don't think he's ever been in active combat service. He just ruins the entire world by convincing Nina to marry Hardin. Horus, again, knight, training, expertise, experience, golden. Not a whole lot to say here. Alright, Beck, I don't know shit about you either. Alright. I literally know nothing about Beck outside of his name. Background, he was a member of the Arcanaean army. Okay. He fought in an army. He gets a point. Good job, Beck. I'm sorry for not knowing shit about you. Astrom, knight, training, gets the legendary sword for doing shit. Good. White Wings, do not separate them. And do not separate them. So, yeah, I know Katria and Paula both have had combat experience. They fought with Minerva for some time. Est, I'm a little iffy on, but I'm not all that sure, but we'll get to her. Aran, I remember him because he is one of my favorite Arcanea characters. He was a knight. He put down peasant revolts. He didn't like it, but he did it. Combat experience, knight training. Astrom is good. Samson. He is a renowned hero, but so I think it's safe to assume Samson has fought. Not all that sure, though. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Samson has fought in battles with training. He is a strong, legendary hero. When will you come to Fast, Samson? Shino awaits you. Zane. I don't know. I'll come back to him. Etzel. He's a nerd with a book. So he knows how to use magic. I think it's safe to say he's never actually fought in combat. He just misses his wife, Tails. He misses her very much. Est. I believe Shadow Dragon is Est's first actual role in combat. Onward to the wiki, sponsored by PUBG. Really wants you to know. So Est, has she fought at all during late in the game? Falls in love with Abel. That ends well. Yeah, no, I don't think. I think it's not stated, so I guess it's safe to assume Est has fought like her sisters. That's a point I could see you guys arguing. I actually don't know, but she's a knight like the rest of them. She's had training. If someone knows the truth behind Est, I can move her down to half a point, but I actually am not sure. Tiki! That's a child. Like, I don't think Tiki's ever fought someone before coming into Garnef's possession. So I think Tiki doesn't qualify at all for anything. I mean, she's one of the most powerful entities in lore, funny enough. But in terms of professionalism, yeah, sorry, Tiki. Marmar's gonna have to give you no points here. Motherfucking Lorenz gets 1 point. Because look at him. Look at this motherfucker and tell me he doesn't know how to bend you over and kill you in 17 different ways. Ymir, I know he was feared, but if I remember correctly, it's just because of how ferocious he looks. He doesn't actually hurt anyone. He is a villager of a Gruston town. He is giant in size. He just fights to protect them. So yeah, I don't think... Yeah, Ymir actually is a no-pointer. He's just a big fucking dude. He has no training, no combat experience. He's just a big fucking dude. I love him, but yeah. Elise. She's a healer. Woo! Yep, pretty much every healer in the game, except Wendell, who is a promoted healer, so he doesn't really count. They're all bottom barrel. Healers do not have combat experience. Gateau, much like Lorenz and Wendell, I'm pretty sure that he's just an old man, and I'm pretty sure Gateau has fought before. Like, I'm fairly certain he has done combat before. Maybe not as a sage, maybe as a dragon, but I think it's safe to give him a point here. Naga, or Nagi. Isn't the whole thing about this character that no one knows anything, and she very well could just Tower's master, trials within, waken her from her slumber. Yeah, you don't know anything about Nagi. So I'm putting her in 0. Just I don't know. No one knows anything about Nagi. Zane is an Earth Dragon. Did he fight at all when the Earth Dragons were being fucked? Divine Dragon. Sorry, I got it mixed up. He survived of a war. He's a survivor of a war. I don't think he's had training, but I think it's safe to say he's had experience fighting. Because, hey, he survived. He had to do that somehow. So I think it's safe to give our chameleon boy half a point. Now, with all of that done, it is time. Well, since I already blew the joke of the funny tabs, I might as well just go to calculator from here. Val, nope. Calculator. All right. So, how many points do we have? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 35 points. Half a point's 10, so that's 5, that's 40. 2.5, that's 42.5 points out of how many characters are in this roster. I really should have calculated this beforehand. So it's 42.5, and then it's 35, 45, 50, 59. So 42.5 out of 59. Marth's army is 72% professional. That is a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. Let me just double check my numbers here really quick. There's a rows of 10. There are 30 here. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Row of 10 is 45. Another 5 is 50. There are 9 here. That's 59. 35 points. 35.5, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 42.5. Yep. By my calculations, Marth Army gets a point of 72% professional. A lot higher than I thought it was going to be. Once we get to Gaiden, Selif's army, that's when we're going to get a lot less professionalism. But for a first army, 72% isn't bad. Is not bad at all. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to recommend anything I should do for next episode being Gaiden, let me know how you want me to change this. Does this point system work fine? Do you think I'm doing it funky? Please let me know. And once again, thank you, Komen J. Rexar. The blood oath of the cow has been paid.